What's going on? We're going this way. Come on. This is, what's happening? You forget how to do this? Okay, we're back. It's finally time for the Walking with Charlie. We're way behind on doing these. And I'm going to blame Charlie. He's become a bit of a prima donna. I think he got new representation, and he was working on a clothing line. And is this your sportswear collection? I'll show you what I'm talking about. Is this your sportswear collection, Charlie? Model the sportswear? Is this it? This is, I know it's not the evening wear collection. That's still in the works, but I think this is the sportswear. Although I don't know if Addy Dog is a real thing. I don't think that's a real thing, but let's not tell him. I haven't seen any checks yet, but at least he's doing the videos again. He's been willing to come back out with me to do the videos. So a bunch of things. Number one, we're about 6 months into this thing. How are you doing? Right? This has gone on longer than I think most people ever thought it would. And the world just feels a bit crazy, doesn't it? And I've noticed, I'm going to bring a couple of ideas together today. So just give me a second to kind of lay them all out. So I think the first thing some people are struggling with, and some people are doing fine. You know, I know some people are responding to this, and they took my advice way back in March, which was to look for the silver linings, you know, and learn a new skill or take advantage of the time, slow down a little bit, be with family. I've heard wonderful stories from people who are reporting that they took that advice, and they're finding that 2020 is not what they thought, but in some ways it's actually okay. They're doing fine. But I notice for many people, though, that there is this sense of loss of control, right? We don't know. Are we in phase 2? Are we going to phase 3? Are we going back to phase 1? Are the restaurants going to stay open? Are we going to shut things down? Are the kids going to stay in school? What exactly is happening? It's hard to know, and it's hard to plan because so many things are still confusing. So that's one challenge. The second thing is, and I said this from the very beginning, that hopefully this coronavirus won't touch you or your family. But the reality is that while it will definitely be a health concern for all of us to deal with, for most people, though, this is going to be more challenging as a financial circumstance, as a financial planning challenge than it will be a health challenge. And we're certainly seeing that, right? We've seen lots of businesses close. We've seen lots of people unserved, needing government benefit, needing a bailout, blowing through their savings. It's definitely been an economic and financial disruption, far more than a health one for the vast majority of people. So I want to tie that idea together. And then the last one is kind of, it's back to school, right? Hopefully the kids will stay in, but certainly it's fall, the weather's changed, kids are in school. So here's what I want to give you today is a little bit, and we'll keep with this back to school theme, I'm going to give you a bit of homework. And it's homework that's designed to do a few things. Number one, it's going to give you back a sense of control, stuff you can take advantage of and get in front of. It's also going to improve your financial position a little bit, make a few differences. And I'm going to motivate you to do it by making you angry. Not angry at me, not angry at anybody really, just grumpy at a situation. I've noticed that sometimes that actually motivates people. So, and what I want to do is, I'm going to start by sharing with you an example of a friend of mine lost his cell phone. Called, and he was just basically telling me the story. He was kind of traveling a little bit in the province, doesn't know where he put it. I think he thought he was just because he was dealing with having to carry masks and all this other stuff, and just didn't know where it went. And the cell phone company he has, I won't tell you which one it is, but it rhymes with Odgers. He'd been paying this protection insurance plan on his phone program for a couple of years. And it was like $13 a month. So he calls them up and they said, yeah, your phone's covered, not a problem. We'll take all your information, we'll fill out the claim, and we'll get you a new phone, a replacement phone out to you. He says, fantastic. They said, just one thing. There's a handling charge. Okay, is that for postage, mail? No, it's a $450 handling charge. Sorry, what? I thought I had insurance. This is the conversation, because I thought I had insurance on this phone in case I lost it. They said, oh, yeah, no, you have insurance. He's like, and I've been paying $13 a month for over 2 years. Yes, you have. And that's the insurance premium for this policy that would get me a new phone, right? Yeah. What's with the $450 handling charge? Well, you know, that's the cost of getting you the new phone, and it's in the fine print of the contract. He's like, I'm sorry, but this doesn't seem like insurance to me. And I said, and then unfortunately, the person on the other end of the phone tried to explain that it was like car insurance. And he said, Darren, I told them, they said, look, if my car's worth $50,000 and it goes missing, gets stolen, or burns up or something, they don't give me a new car and ask for a check for $50,000. This just doesn't seem like insurance then. So that got me thinking, and I had one of these problems with one of these programs with Olivia quite a while ago when she, you know, a kid drops her phone, cracks the screen. We have that same insurance. We take it in to get it fixed. They want like $200 to fix the screen. I'm like, what were we paying for? They said, is that not covered? They said, it's covered, but it's a $200 fee. I'm like, well, how much does it cost to fix the screen without that? A little over $200. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So that kind of makes me think most of us aren't paying attention to some of these little things that are coming out of our pockets that, you know, it might be 13 bucks here, 8 bucks here. Maybe it's TV channels you're not watching, or it's, you know, every time you go to buy something at a store, hey, would you like to take the insurance coverage? It's only $39. And, you know, there's all these little things. They're just a ripoff. They're just not good value. So I want you to start going through, what do you spend every month? What are all these little $8, $12, $15 charges? You know, my God, and I'm not immune to this. I mean, I still have a home telephone. Like, why? When do we answer it? Like, apart from the air duct cleaning people, no one calls the thing. Well, no, that's not true. CRA is apparently looking for me, so don't tell them. So apart from that, here's the homework. Let's actually start paying attention. Let's count our pennies. What's all this stuff? Who's got their hand in their pocket? And what the hell am I getting for it? And that makes me mad that, you know what, all these things that are supposed to help me, most of them are a waste of money. And I'm going to give you a couple that are really particularly pernicious. And one of the terms I want you to think, or I want you to become familiar with, is something called reverse underwriting. Now, what does that mean? So normally when you go to buy like life insurance or something, they take you through all the questionnaires and the insurance company determines if they're going to cover your risk. And they charge you a bill, they arrive at the premium, and then you know you're covered. But there's a lot of insurance policies that the banks in particular will tag on to stuff, and they'll tell you you're covered, but they'll only determine that when you make a claim, and then you may discover you're not covered. We had a client that went through this a couple years ago, and she had on her credit cards and lines of credit and her mortgage, she had disability insurance coverage. Well, she actually had a medical condition and she was hospitalized for a period of time and couldn't work. So she lets me know that. I said, well, is everything covered? She had bought this insurance, and that made me worried because here she thought she was covered for all this stuff. Well, as it turns out, when she went to apply for it, the insurance company that the bank uses turned her down. And I don't know, I haven't read the whole thing to find out was there a pre-existing condition or what exactly the rationale was, but unfortunately here, she's been paying for this stuff for quite a long time, only to discover that when she most needed it, didn't have it. Now, she said the bank was willing to refund her premiums and everything, but that's not good enough, is it? Really? Like when they told you were covered and you went through life thinking you were, to find out you're not at the moment you need it, it's a bit late. And there's a lot of insurance products like that that are being sold. So if you've got this balance protection, credit protection stuff on your credit cards, your lines of credit, I want you to look at it closely. And if you have any questions, call us and we'll examine it with you. And the one that really disturbs me is the mortgage insurance that people will get through the banks, because it's done the same way. And that's not a small amount of coverage if someone passes away. That's like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars that you may not be covered under. So to my mind, that's actually one of the worst ones that people aren't looking at, is what exactly am I paying for and what exactly am I gonna get? So I want you to use the back to school time of year, weather's changing, we're not outside as much, because we had a great summer, didn't we? I want you to use this next little bit of time to go through this and do it because it's for you. Do it because a lot of this stuff, rip off, not great, not good value, doesn't work the way you think it does. And when they turn around and tell you, oh no, it's way back on the fine print on page 63, sorry, not good enough to me. So as I say, go through your stuff. If you have any questions about what does this cover, what am I paying for, is it actually worth it, let us know. And some of these things are, you know, I had a problem with my iPhone and I took the Apple Care and, you know, the camera didn't work for some reason. Apparently if you attach it to the handlebars of a motorcycle, it can kind of wreck the camera. Who knew? But they fixed it, no problem. I just had to line up at the Apple store because of COVID, and they fixed it inside of an hour, so that was okay. So there are some things that are worth doing, but the trick is you gotta know, and unfortunately most of us don't. So as I say, let's take some time, let's go through what these little things that are coming out of our pockets, and I'll bet you, you know what, if you put some time into this, it's probably a few $100 a month that might be there that shouldn't be going out the door anymore. And we can also take control back, right, of what's happening. So with that, Charlie, y'all good? He thinks he's got this. I gotta check his contracts with his lawyers. I don't know what's going on, but okay, with that, thanks very much. Talk to you later. Come on, this way, come on. Okay, big shot, let's go. Your people haven't talked to my people. How do I know what's going on? Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, this is a little good Beyonce move there.